Merry Christmas. Again, I am jamming to Kirk Franklin's Christmas album. This whole thing is a special meaning for me. I used to sing in the choir at my church, and we used to do Christmas concerts every year, like major concerts. Even when I was in the youth department, we opened for Kirk Franklin one time. So cool. But this song right here, I love it. There's no Christmas without you. Caroling and the mistletoe. Children playing in the snow. In their hearts. Oh, wait, you let us know there's no Christmas without you. Your gift of love. Such a sacrifice, such a sacrifice and giving sent from above. So with our voices lifted high, Jesus reaches to the sky. Jesus, you're the reason why there's no Christmas without you. Yeah, so I'm not a soloist. I sing in a choir as a group. So I sound better when I'm in a group. So I don't say that I'm a singer, but I can hit some notes when we are, in a group setting. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Vernita Glenn White. I go by Dr. V, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 16, where we're going to talk about a question that I get asked the most often, and I have a special twist on that. So if you're new to me, welcome. I am the Brilliant Life Strategist, and I do a few things, but mainly I help high achieving or ambitious men and women, but mostly women who are looking for more personal satisfaction and fulfillment beyond their positions, titles, and degrees. And I help them in a few ways. I help them with one, I reclaim their voice with confidence, and reclaiming their voice with confidence. I also help them to realign with their core values with clarity. And the last thing I do is help them to embrace reinvention with courage. And we do that through a lot of personal empowerment work to get them professionally powerful, because a lot of my people are parallel preneurs. Some of them eventually want to be full-time entrepreneurs, but right now they're in the space of being a parallelpreneur. On the back end, I'm also a consultant in the areas of STEM education and cultural consciousness. That is, when an opportunity presents itself, I talk about that, but I also see what I do as far as the coaching side that really can go into that corporate side as well, because if you don't realign or regain or embrace reinvention, then you're not going to grow. So the whole movement, all of that is under the movement of embracing brilliance, because I truly believe if we embrace brilliance and do what we were born to do, then we can literally change the world together. And I'm on the mission to transform the learning experience and the lives of 1 billion people. So I need some help. All right, so we're talking about Vlogmas Day 16, and the question that I get asked the most often, and mine is a little different. I don't get asked specific questions often. I get asked more of how do I, or how to questions. And I was trying to search for what do people always ask me for. I'm looking like in my inbox, in my DMs, thinking about like what friends come to me for, or when I work as a consultant, even what they ask me for. And a lot of things are how to, or how do I, or how do you. And before I tell you the answer to that, or how I address that, my most common approach to that, I want to share with you a little story. And these videos are short. I told you they're going to be like the snap my speaking coach taught me: clear, concise, powerful, and quick, so I can get them out. Because at Vlogmas, we're supposed to get to the point. So I remember when I told a mentor who was also a former boss of mine when I worked in the K-12 system, and I wanted to go into consulting, and he asked me what makes me unique about being a consultant. And at the time, I thought I wanted to teach people how to learn mathematics, how to approach mathematics. And then later on, once I got into my doctoral program, I was like, oh, I want to help administrators see content differently and approach content differently through their observations. But he was like, what makes you unique? Like, what makes you stand out? And I remember I gave him this answer, and I'll share with you in a minute. But I gave him the answer, and he was like, that's not good enough. That's not enough. Like, what is your thing? And I remember sitting there because when he asked me that, it came so quick. And I was like, that is what I'm good at, you know? And then I've had people to tell me indirectly that's what I was good at. And I really sat with myself and I was like, this is what I do. And it helped that I went into a field to where that's all we do in that particular field, you know? Especially as a mathematician and then as an engineering or thinking like an engineer, that's what we do. And so when I told him that, he said that, it like crushed my ego. Like it really, really did. And from that, it took me years because I always was searching like, well, what makes me different? What makes me unique? And with all that searching, that led to a lot of self-doubt, that led to a lot of rejection from, you know, companies and school districts because I couldn't really articulate that thing again because I kept searching. And I was overlooking what was already divinely downloaded into myself. And even now, like I'm still doing the work to really hone that in. But people will come to me for those things, how to, and how can I, and all of that. It always started with that. What do you think about? What approach can I take? So even before I got into this wanting to be a coach, and I, like I said, I never wanted to be a coach. Coaching like found me. And I still say that, and then you'll understand why I have the Brilliant Life Strategist as my name. But this is not something that I set out to do. This was something I was drawn to, and people were coming to me for this. So it took me years, and, you know, God bless his heart. He gave me the best, you know, he answered with he answered with the information that he had at the time, the best information he had at the time. But I heard today, it was like, don't take a grain of salt. Like, don't think of a grain of salt as the size of an elephant. And although he planted that little itty bitty seed, I made it like it was a huge boulder, like the size of an elephant that kept me stuck. So after years of my own work and really deep diving and really analyzing, like, what am I really good at? What do people come to me for? What have I been paid to do? Even though the vehicles have changed, sometimes it's STEM, sometimes it's cultural consciousness, sometimes it's life. What is that through line, that core message? Are you ready? This is going to be a quick one. I am good at seeing processes and frameworks. So when people share their vision or ask a question, I automatically can see a framework or a process to help them get to the desired result. And I also can see what hinders them from getting there inside, like personally, and to say, this is what we need to do if you want to go there. So I can see things in frameworks and processes. And that helped me as a mathematician, that helped me as having this engineering design mindset, this framework, how I see things based on like engineering does, and patterns and things like that, sequences, and being able to see someone else's whole picture, like, oh my gosh, I can just map this out for you. We can just go, right? And then the coaching part of it is helping you along the way to do that. And I realized, especially now, this was some years ago, he shared that with me, but now I'm like, that is a hot commodity. That is a hot ticket. And we're in the advice area, or the age of the expert. And had I not allowed that grain to turn into a boulder, who knows what I could have been doing. And I've even developed frameworks. My dissertation was a whole framework. My book is a framework. And everything I do is honestly in a framework. And even when I analyze and look over my life, when I feel like things aren't working, that's because I haven't put a system or process in place. So that is my superpower. That is a question I get asked the most. What people are really asking is, what process or framework can I do to get to this result? And it took me a long time to realize that that is something that is a power that I have, a superpower that I have, a gift that I have, and what people will pay for and what people have paid for. And so I want to share with you that whatever you think is your gift or what you're good at, what you're unique at, Run with that right now, no matter what people are saying. If you truly feel that tug, that means it is it for you. And I'm learning this. I have learned this now. I'm just applying it to different areas. It will course correct itself, right? So back then, did I know how to articulate? Oh, I help people. All I said was, I know how I see process. I can help people process information. And that even goes along as being an educator or teacher. I know how to take big things and break them down to bite-sized pieces to help you get it, right? So I didn't know how to articulate that. I didn't know about the world of coaching and all of that back then, or having a community to cultivate that. I do now, but I didn't back then. And so I want to encourage you to, if you think you know what your gift is or what you think you're good at, just look into it, research it, Google every word that you can think of. Look for people who are doing similar things that you think you do, so you can get the language around what you do. When you have the language, then it doesn't matter what other people say. Oh, I don't think that's good, or oh, that's not enough. But you have the language and the belief behind what makes you unique. So I know that was a little different spin on what questions do people typically ask me, but I wanted to share, because you may be that person. Someone may not come to you for that one thing, but I want you to think about what is the scope or the umbrella, or what is the combination of what the people are asking you. So remember, I started mine with, most people, when they ask me questions, is how do I, how to, or how did you get? That's what people ask me. So think about it like that. If it's not one particular thing, like, oh, how do you wrap the best presents, or how do you bake the best sourdough bread? If it's nothing like that, I want you to think bigger and find the core message in between that, and that will be your question and what you're probably destined to do in this season, right? So that's all I wanted to share with you. That was a different spin. I hope that was helpful to you, and make sure you comment down below. One, because we are doing a giveaway, but two, I really want us to have a dialogue, and the only way we can have a dialogue is if you actually comment down in the comment section. So whether you had a great takeaway, something else you want to add, and even if you disagree, you got to tell me why you disagree. All right. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening and learning with me, because we do learn together as a community. Remember that you can connect with me with the free life class from Dr. Vernita, freegift.com, or look in the description box below and figure out different ways that you want to connect with me, whether it's my private Facebook group, or you want to book a call with me to just go through some things to see where you are in life and how I may be of service to you. And so with that being said, I want you to remember to be well, be empowered, be bold, and be brilliant. Until next time, bye.